Hey everyone, welcome to Don't Drink the Kool-Aid. My name is Ian, and today we're going to be diving into the mysterious disappearance of the First Lady of Scientology, Shelly Miscavige. Shelly Miscavige, spouse to Scientology leader David Miscavige, hasn't been seen publicly since her father's funeral in 2007. Reports suggest she is alive and well, but the question remains, where is she? Join me as we unravel the enigmatic events surrounding Shelly and David Miscavige, explore the Church of Scientology, and investigate the circumstances surrounding Shellys disappearance. Shelly Miscavige was born as Michelle Barnett on January 18, 1961 in Dallas, Texas. Shelly's life was intertwined with Scientology from the start. Her mother, Mary Barnett, was a devoted member of the Church of Scientology for decades. Mary eventually resigned, joining the Advanced Ability Center and securing several highly classified documents from the church before her departure. On September 8, 1985, Mary Barnett was found dead at the age of 52 from a gunshot wound to the head and 3 to the body. Her death was ruled a self-murder. Shelly spent most of her early childhood aboard Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard's ship, the Apollo. She initially worked with Hubbard's Sea Organization, where her primary task was to provide aid to Hubbard himself, but she also worked on various other projects. Shelly was known to be a quiet, innocent girl who had a passion for Scientology. She eventually met and married the like-minded David Miscavige in 1982. Upon the death of L. Ron Hubbard in 1986, David assumed the role as leader of the church, making Shelly the First Lady of Scientology. Shelly eventually started working on a project aimed at restructuring the Sea Organization, but it did not satisfy David's vision. It was reported that Shelly attempted to release her project without David's approval, which infuriated him. It was at this point Shelly and David embarked on the Free Winds cruise, which led to Shelly's subsequent disappearance in 2007. Now that being said, let's take a moment to dive into the culture and beliefs of the Church of Scientology. Scientology is a religious movement founded in the early 1950s by science fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard. The central tenets to Scientology are outlined in Hubbard's writings, particularly in a book called Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health, which he published in 1950. Scientology claims to offer a precise and scientific approach to spiritual enlightenment and self-improvement. The foundational concept of Scientology is Dianetics, which is presented as a set of ideas and practices aimed at addressing the negative experiences, traumas, and emotional scars stored in the mind. The goal is to achieve a state called clear, where an individual is said to be free from negative influences. In Scientology, the term thetan refers to the spiritual being or soul that is separate from the body. According to Scientology beliefs, individuals are immortal spiritual beings, and the body is simply a vessel that the thetan inhabits. As followers progress in Scientology, they may undergo various courses and auditing sessions to reach higher levels of spiritual awareness, known as operating thetan levels. These levels are intended to bring about greater spiritual abilities and enlightenment. According to L. Ron Hubbard, much of the galaxy, including Earth, was ruled tens of millions of years ago by the Galactic Confederacy. The Confederacy was controlled by a tyrant named Xenu, who was eventually overthrown by a group within the Galactic Confederacy known as the Loyal Officers. These Loyal Officers are what scholars believe Hubbard modeled the Sea Organization after. The Sea Organization, established in 1967, serves as the core managerial and paramilitary force in the Church of Scientology. The Sea Org quite literally is that, historically operating from naval vessels with the purpose of conducting research and supervising church organizations across the world. Although today, much of these operations are conducted on land. Even after moving to land operations in 1975, the Maritime Customs have still persisted, with members still wearing naval-type uniforms and addressing both male and female members as sir. The Sea Org motor vessel Free Winds is staffed entirely by members of the Sea Org. Today, the Sea Org has roughly 5,800 active members. While the Sea Org is not directly incorporated into the structure of the Church of Scientology, admittance comes with it strict responsibilities, including a 1 billion year pledge to the service of the Church of Scientology. Scientology has been a subject of controversy. with some former members and critics accusing the organization of being a cult, engaging in abusive practices, and exploiting its followers financially. The church, in turn, has often responded aggressively to criticism, leading to legal battles and public relation challenges. To further illustrate the abusive ways of the church, let's briefly discuss the events surrounding the death of Lisa McPherson. Lisa joined the Church of Scientology in 1977 at the age of 18. After moving to Clearwater, Florida in 1994, Lisa reportedly achieved the clear state. Soon after, she was involved in a minor car accident, sustaining no injuries, but began removing her clothing soon after paramedics arrived. She apparently did this in an attempt to receive counseling at the hospital. Once arriving at the hospital, doctors agreed to keep her overnight until the intervention of Scientologists who convinced her to leave the hospital on her own accord. Following the departure, Scientologists took Lisa to the Fort Harrison Hotel, which is a land base owned and operated by Scientologists. Church staff supposedly kept a 24/7 watch on her, but this turned out to be the last 17 days of Lisa's life. On day 17, Lisa was taken to a hospital 45 minutes away to be seen by a doctor who was a member of the church, passing 4 other hospitals along the way. Lisa exhibited no vital signs upon arrival. She was pronounced dead on December 5th, 1995. Lisa's autopsy was performed the same day by Assistant Medical Examiner Robert Davis, who was asked to resign before he could finish the report. The report was eventually finished by Medical Examiner Joan Wood. Details in the report include cause of death as severe dehydration, noting that Lisa was comatose for 24 to 48 hours before her death. The report also noted that there were multiple bruises on Lisa's body, as well as lesions and insect bites consistent with that of cockroaches. Wood initially ruled Lisa's death as undetermined, but after rebuttals by Scientologists, it was later changed to an accident. Because of this revision to the report, the 2 felony charges that the church faced, which were practicing medicine without a license and abuse and/or neglect of a disabled adult, were eventually dismissed from court. Because of her position as First Lady of Scientology, Shelly Miscavige's disappearance did not go unnoticed. Actress Leah Remini, who left the church in 2013, filed a missing person report for Shelly soon after her departure from the church. LAPD reported to have met with a woman claiming to be the wife of David Miscavige and Jeffrey Ritter, her attorney, at a small coffee shop in Covina, California. LAPD checked the woman's ID and took her fingerprints. Unfortunately, the woman's fingerprints were later determined invalid, and police could not conclude a positive match. In addition, detectives requested surveillance footage from the coffee shop where the rendezvous took place, but had been scrambled during the exchange. It was also reported that police never informed Shelly that she was the subject of a missing person report, thus couldn't ascertain the reason for her severe and sudden reclusivity. Despite this, the LAPD closed the case. There was a second missing person report filed for Shelly, although this was filed anonymously, and the LAPD quickly determined that this was also unfounded. Following the closure of the missing person cases of Shelly, theories have surfaced surrounding her whereabouts. Some would say Shelly is dead. Some believe she is still alive, held captive by her husband David and other Scientologists, but the truth may never be known. According to Daily Mail, an anonymous source reported seeing Shelly in public near Scientology headquarters in Crestline, California. She was described as looking frail and thin, guarded by 2 men. The disappearance of Shelly Miscavige is a compelling mystery, one that raises questions about the Church of Scientology, its practices, and the lives of those involved. As we've explored the controversies and culture of the Church of Scientology, it becomes clear that Shelly's story is just one piece of a very complex puzzle. The disappearance of Shelly Miscavige stands as a testament to the secrecy of Scientology, leaving us with a mystery that may never truly be unraveled. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me on this journey into the mysterious world of Scientology and the disappearance of Shelly Miscavige. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. If you have a topic you'd like me to cover in the future, please feel free to drop a comment. And always remember, don't drink the Kool-Aid.